Anyway, yeah, that was Type 0. It wasn't the cleanest run. It wasn't the nicest run, but it's a really fun game. Like I said, it's on sale right now on Steam, as are a bunch of Final Fantasy games. If you guys thought it was interesting, make sure to check it out. Best of luck to the rest of Team Chocobo and to the rest of everyone in this race. Just so glad we could be here, and best of luck to Koinu. I hope the rest of Trials treats you fairly.
I'm out of MP.
So, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We
That was a
are the
great round of
FF1
consent.
team.
Yep.
I'm Kibetha. I'm commentator number 1.
I'm Star. I'm commentator number 2, and let's get down to business with the commentary.
Oh God, you just no.
That's some indication of how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better. Yeah, Crrool is your runner for Team Choco. He's on your right now, and he's already got through the first menu. Basically, stuff that happens in FF1 happens very fast, okay? So we're going to need to kind of ramble off a load of psychobabble at you for the moment. Right, okay. First thing first, equipment glitch. Turns FF1 PSP into a cakewalk. Right, so we've already bought one hammer, which we've turned into some super powerful armor. Stud, you said you were going to explain this. Do you want to explain
Alright,
this?
well,
I can do, yes. So how the equipment glitch works is basically each item has a certain value associated with it. So, for example, the hammer. Let's say for simplicity, it has a value of 1. This then corresponds to the other slot, in this case armor, which also has the same value, which in this case is knight's armor. So for simplicity's sake, let's say again, knight's armor has a value of 1. So basically we trick the game into thinking that we have the knight's armor by holding down the shoulder button and select at the same time. And I have no idea how that works, it just does. So the game thinks that we have the same item value in the other slot and gives it to us for free.
When you
So-
said you were going to explain this, I thought you had like a bit more on your plate than it's magic, it happens, because that's all I
No.
can say.
I mean, I said mention the equipment values.
Yeah,
So-
that works. Anyway, you're about to see it in
It's not just
action.
magic.
We are turning the leather cap we just picked up from the chest into the judgment staff. Incidentally, the judgment staff is the most powerful staff in the game. We have it 2 minutes into the run. That's about how this run's going to go, anyone who hasn't seen this before.
Yeah, and the best thing about Judgment Staff, which you'll see shortly, is that it gives you the ability to cast Flare, which is the most powerful magic in the game.
Woo! By the way, guys on Type 0, I know you guys are in your final dungeon doing complicated things. Please feel free to talk over us if you've got stuff to explain.
Yes, you
it's just me being bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right now, Coin is just going through, trying to make sure some of her members die. For that.
I mean,
little
yes,
bit of
those 4
affection.
deaths were absolutely planned. All according to what I need.
It's all RNG manipulation, right?
Yes.
Meanwhile,
just
on
say that you
Crrool's,
guys-
just nothing happening.
You guys have some really cool final bosses going on here. I haven't really seen very much of Type 0. They're very cool looking.
Oh, thank you. And unfortunately, they're very easy because most of them are either unlosable or the goal is to lose to them. So not
They're
the most
kinda like
exciting
story
final bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot going on behind the scenes, but mechanically it's a lot of just hit him at the right times
Please,
and hope it
why
works.
can't I hit him?
On the other
Dying is a
hand,
big motif.
our final boss is like the reason that we do everything in this game. If you see us picking up equipment or anything, in fact, our party composition is almost purely so that we can kill chaos at the end of the game. We've got ourselves a warrior who actually isn't our main tank or our main damage dealer or anything. He's mostly there because he can equip lots of the equipment we need to glitch the things that we're going to require. Then we've got a thief who is our main damage dealer because he does lots of hits because he's fast. We got a black mage for some like utility magic, like haste and teleport and stuff, and a white mage who is going to save our butts later in the game.
So the route that both of these runners are going to be doing is what we call traditional or old route. The reason why it's old route, even though it's not really that old, is that we do have a new route made fairly recently. I say fairly. It was about a couple of years ago. Lust Dagger route, which these runners will not be doing.
Yeah, they're not cool enough for the Last Dagger. They,
No.
they like to stick with traditional stuff.
Yeah, which is fair enough. All three routes. No, well, it's 3 routes. All
We're
3 of them are very
definitely
valid.
not going to roast them for that, for the whole
No, absolutely not.
I was afraid you were going to do this.
And the thing is, we like traditions. It's a tradition. Very important.
Game!
Very important.
Yep. Meanwhile, you're seeing Crrool trying to escape from some walls. In this game, random encounters are a bit of a nightmare and very important for your actual overall time, because you can waste a lot of time with encounters, an absurd amount.
Yeah, it's like, if there wasn't random encounters in this game, it'd probably be done in, what, 40 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, probably. But like, you can easily rack up like over 200 encounters in this game, and that's just like over an hour and a half. I mean, that's a lot.
Yep. So yeah, very, very short run. We're only going to be here for 90 minutes, guys. That's why we're talking so fast, but lots of stuff happens.
Like crazy horses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
So Crrool is now heading on to the pirates fight, which is a very difficult fight because we have absolutely nothing to kill them with, except
Oh,
something
wait.
called flare.
We picked up that thing that does the most powerful skill in the game. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be hopefully one of the only uses of judgment staff in the game. It casts flare, and flare has like a 7-second animation. That's not fast in a 1 hour 30-minute game.
Yeah. I mean, one of the main benefits of Lust Dagger Root is that we use magic instead of flare, like other magic like fire and thunder, which have shorter animations. But these guys won't be
Yeah.
doing that.
These scrubs are going to use the really long animation instead.
Yep. So now that we
I'm
killed the
not.
pirates, we pick up the ship.
Not going to get the encounters we need in order to even have to use it. So just avoid it altogether.
How you
Yeah.
doing, Koinu?
I'm getting horrible platform luck. This
Oh, no.
being bad. Yep.
I'm going to pretend I know what that means.
There are spinning platforms, and I just have to sit here and wait for them to spin
I
a
was
couple
gonna
extra
say-
times.
From what I can see, it genuinely means she doesn't have the right platforms to walk.
So Crrool getting very good encounter luck on the ocean. So sea encounters are very difficult to run from, especially at this stage in the game where we only have the knight's armor. So it's very lucky not to get one.
I'm having a great time. Everything's good. So Katter just died. She is the person that I am most comfortable with against Gilgamesh, so that'll be really swell.
It's alright, Koinu, you got this. You practiced king strats. You know how to do Jack. I believe in you.
Eh,
Would you say
That'll
that
make one of us.
Kata is a girl worth fighting for, by the way?
Katter is the worst girl. She can go away.
Oh, okay. I see.
Kib, I don't know if you intended that, but a girl worth
did.
fighting
I
for.
absolutely did.
I love you for that. Thank you so much.
I don't even know how to do like anything right now. I'm just lost.
Trust me, where this came from, there's much more.
Yeah.
That's why we have Kib.
And Star. Star's on it.
So something we haven't mentioned before is the tiles that these runners will be walking on. So each tile has a different encounter rate. Sea, marsh, and plain tiles have a slightly lower than the forest tiles. So these runners will be trying and walking on plain and marsh tiles as much as possible.
Yeah,
And
forest
avoiding
tiles,
forest like the
forest
plague.
not good.
Yes.
Also, different dungeons have different encounter rates. This one's a pretty low one. You'll probably get 2, maybe 3 encounters in the whole time you're in this dungeon. So,
Yep.
Crrool has run into his first one already.
Yep. And we see the first sign of paralysis, which can be an absolute pain later. So there is a thing in this game called Paralock, where basically your entire party can be paralyzed and there's nothing you can do except to watch as your HP gets destroyed.
And hope
And hope
that your characters will randomly snap out of it because they don't want to annoy you.
Yes.
So believe it or not, this is a boss. We'll be one-shotting it because that's what we'll be doing for all of the bosses in this game.
Yep. And the first instance of a spiked tile, pretty much. So spiked tiles are tiles that we're guaranteed to get an encounter. So every time you step on that tile, you will get the same encounter. There are a few spiked tiles that we have to step on over the course of the run. Most of them are fleeable, but that one's
Usually
not.
the game likes to put spike tiles right in front of a chest that has something really nice in it, just to ensure that you have maximum annoyance value.
Yeah, the run is estimated to be about an hour and a half, roughly. But depending on RNG, it could go longer or shorter.
Yeah, I would be surprised if these guys, if runners of this caliber, were doing a run that was over 145, 150. So that's probably a maximum. And that's if the game's really trolly.
Yeah.
Alright, that doesn't one-shot. That's good. Wow, alright, that triad attack did nothing. Good to know.
0 for 2 on triad attacks. Let's see.
So now that Crrool has got the crown from the Pisco Demon chest, he now heads over to Western Keep to fight Astos. Because he's a bit of a troll. You give him the crown and he turns out to be evil. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? And of course, he goes down pretty easily. Mixture of attacks and judgment stuff, and he's dead.
Yeah, this is about the most kind of like actual fighting you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Astos has an instant death attack.
Yeah,
It's not
fortunately
too
it
bad.
was on Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior
Warrior's
Thief
not too bad.
we can cope with. If your casters get it, it's a bit more of an inconvenience because their level actually matters. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a few abilities, magic spells that we can only get once they get to a certain level. So we don't want them to lose any EXP, hopefully.
Yeah, Fighter, Thief, Black Mage, and White Mage as the party that we use.
This is bad. This is really bad. Yeah,
What's
so
going
not
on?
having Catter, I have no way to actually nuke these guys, and I'm just gonna not have a good time. Luckily, I do still have Trey alive. Alright, Trey's dead. Awesome. I don't even know. I'm king, maybe? No.
Ouch.
This is
Anyone you've got left with Thunder Shotgun. Just bring up anyone you've got with Thunder Shotgun right now.
I don't. They're none of the above. I can't. I can't hit them.
Meanwhile, Crrool is just getting a ton of encounters on the way back to.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
about
Tom.
normal for FF1. It's partly because you have to go through the forests to get across here, and as we mentioned, plenty of forest encounters, and we haven't really got any equipment to help us run away yet. That
Yeah.
will be the main aim of the game for the first hour of game, will be trying to get as much agility equipment as we can.
So, something we haven't actually mentioned is you may be wondering if the armor that we get, Knight's armor, is so good, why do we only equip one? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. It slows you down and makes it a lot harder to run from encounters. So, even though it is a very powerful armor, there's no reason to get more than one.
However, when we start getting our agility accessories and stuff, even though we get certain things such as a thieves armlet, we don't just put it on our arms, we put it on our heads, we put it on our bodies, we put it on our feet, we put it everywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, expect us to glitch more than one of those.
All right, cool.
That's the-
Main strats it is.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Deep,
Over here in Coin's
deep
side,
breath,
we're
Coin.
basically-
You've got it.
I'm
You got this, Coin. You.
I'm so sorry, Team Mog. That's really all I have to say.
You're fine. Like we said,
You've got
this
this.
game's mean. You know, things happen. You've got this. You practice this before the race. I believe in you.
On Crrool's side, we've just done a little fetch quest. You know the crown that we gave to the evil guy earlier? He then gives us an eyeball, which we then give to a witch we find in a cave. She says bibbly bobbly boo, and then she gives us a jolt tonic. Now, what can we possibly do with that? We have to go wake someone up.
Yeah, so now we're heading to Elfheim Castle. We gave a prince a potion to wake him up. Because giving a prince a random drug is
Yep.
perfectly acceptable. Especially
You
one
know,
that we find in a cave that's given to us by a witch.
He's a bit of a fixer-upper.
Yes, he is.
Don't you want to say that he's a sleeping beauty?
Okay, so now instead of leaving the where we came in, we go out a different way because it's faster. And then we immediately re-enter in order to get a mithril hammer through a chest, which will allow us to do the next equipment glitch, which is for theme song.
Yeah, so this is a fairly simple equipment glitch. See if Crrool can do it as quickly as we are used to him doing. As I say that, I've probably just cursed him.
Yes.
Anyone who doesn't know, Crrool is an extremely experienced FF1 runner. So any bad things I say about him are cancelled out by years of running this game.
Now he's just heading into Elfheim Town to get gold needles, which are... Hopefully he won't need to use them, but we can get them because if we don't have any, then it could literally kill the run. Because you can get petrified in this game, and petrify is very bad. If your entire party gets petrified, you are dead. And petrify lasts after encounters, so it's a status you do not want.
I was about to say, we haven't switched to Indy's FFZ emotes yet. Indy's got a very appropriate emote of a cockatrice, which are the birds that can inflict petrified, but clearly we'll have to use them when Indy gets petrified by them in the odd
Excuse me.
Now, Crrool is going to get the nitro powder, which will allow us to blow up a wall, well, blow up a canal, because that's totally a thing you can do, which will allow us access to the wider world. Because right
Yes.
now we're kind of in a little bubble, kind of trapped in this small little section.
It's a whole new world out there, guys.
Thank you.
Over here on Coin's side, making our way to the final encounter with Sid, which will, as we saw earlier, first we'll start with getting the power bestowed upon us, and then beating Sid down.
Yeah, as Barbados mentioned, while the FF1 team is going to a whole new world, over here we're going to a fantastic place to be, and that is right in front of Sid.
It doesn't look like a fantastic place to be, I'm not gonna lie.
No, it
I mean-
doesn't.
At first glance, the whole boiling lakes of blood thing is
What
a
is
little
that
off-putting. the arbiter of humanity slash god slash Sid. I mean, Sid has to make a cameo in every game. This is how we chose this game. You know, as this.
Incidentally, this is a little bit late, but you just saw Crrool, rather than running away from that sea encounter, he just got it with the judgment staff. The Sahagins that you find in the sea, even with agility equipment on, are a bit
why?
so it's easier to just one-shot them and run away rather than waiting for it to let you run away.
Well, I just gotta start with Deuce, which is great, because she's impossible to hit with.
So the one thing we didn't mention about the final boss is, so after all of your party members are killed off, the game randomly chooses one of the 12 applicable party members to start this fight with. Some of them are a lot better than others because, again, Sid starts the fight with Shell on, so magic isn't really going to do very much. And he can be very hard to hit for melee characters. Deuce is unfortunately the worst character in the game by far. She is supposed to be the party bard and is meant to be buffing other characters. He has a very hard time hitting Sid this first
I had a
phase.
free chance to hit him and I blew it.
Her melee attack is very weird.
You got this, Coiny.
You got this, don't worry.
Yeah, it's alright. He'll come down, cast a spell, and you'll be able to just stamp on his face.
I can't even do the up attack. This is terrible.
Meanwhile, Crrool is blowing on Canal.
That really just seems like a questionable course of action, I gotta say.
It is. We've
It really is,
previously
yeah.
discussed many times in commentary the effects of climate change that blowing up a canal and causing a tidal wave to fill in that canal would cause, but perhaps in contrast to the damage that chaos is doing to the world, it doesn't really matter. We're not sure. Either way, it lets us out.
Don't
Fair
forget
point.
about
That's the main thing.
that supposedly flooding the entire cave we were in and killing all of us, but, you know, minor side
That
effects.
doesn't happen either. It's just
I
like,
don't know if Sarah's listening, but if you are, would you mind coming in and deafening me? Sent can call the final split.
so our next destination is Melmont, where we would normally be buying. Actually, Crrool didn't do the menu there.
Yeah, he's doing it now instead.
We are going to be buying our next overpowered weapon, which is the Barbarian Sword, which in this route we are going to be glitching onto all of our characters. The Barbarian Sword is not just the most powerful sword in the game, but the most powerful sword in the game and in all its remakes, which is actually 3 times as powerful as the original version of the game. I think in the original version of the game, the Masamune was the most powerful sword, and yeah, this is 3 times more powerful. So, yeah, halfway into the game, and we can basically kill anything in one shot.
Crrool just got ambushed by some ghouls and ghosts. Okay. Somewhat lucky there. This is an encounter that can power-lock you, because all of them can paralyze you. So he got quite lucky that Thief and White Mage managed to survive the power-lock. But getting ambushed by ghosts is really bad.
You can get some really good names here, like Paralysis U2. With your, we haven't actually mentioned the character names. You can customize all your character names in FF1. We will be switching some of the characters around, which is why Crrool's message doesn't quite make sense. But it will read "Love you too, Indy," which is
He does now.
lovely
He's already switched them around.
declaration.
Reach that now.
Yeah, he's already switched them around.
We has.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
yeah. Aldrich does it during Barbarian Sword menu.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, because Lust Dagger does it later.
I think Crrool was expecting Indy to be roasting him in his own character names. So we'll see what happens
Yeah.
when Indy turns over.
I need food. Also,
I don't
stop.
think you have time.
Nah, we'll do it after the run. Oh god. Someone just scream at me as soon as we can start.
Okay. So Crrool is now accessing Cavern of Earth level 3, which is probably one of the worst places in the game because of this encounter, Pisco Demons. And we also see Cockroaches as well. But Pisco Demons are unrunnable, so you have to kill them with Judgment Star.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dangerous, because you can almost... I think you can always get first hit on them.
Yeah.
But it's a pain. It takes some time, and time is not a thing that you want to lose in this run.
But there are a lot of bad encounters in this spell. Like I said, Cockroaches are a thing, which can paralyze you.
Or we could just get more Piscademons.
Or more Pisco Demons, yeah. Yeah, ghouls and ghast can paralyze you. It's just a very, very bad place to be. And
However,
the worst
it
thing
does
is we have to
mean-
go through multiple times.
It does mean our characters get a few more levels, so that means that our stats are going up, particularly our HP, which isn't important right now, might be kind of important in a while.
Yeah.
In fact, we've got some pretty decent HP rolls there on all our characters.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that HP going up every level is random. So you can end up with a Black Mage with about 60 HP at this point in the game, or they can have about 150, which makes a massive difference for bosses.
So now we have Vampire, which is a very tough boss.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
it's
would
really difficult.
absolutely not go down in one hit whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
No.
Oh, well, that was underwhelming.
I feel as if you guys might be lying to me.
No, us lying. We would never do such a thing.
Yeah, welcome to the power of the Judgment Sword, guys. Judgment Sword? That's definitely a combination of two different weapons.
Yeah.
Barbarian Sword. And now we've just got to make our way out the long way.
Yep.
There is actually an alternative route where you can play a mini game on the ship, and if you get lucky and you're good at the game, it will give you an emergency exit, which is an item that you can use to instantly exit dungeon, kind of like Pokemon Escape Room. But that requires actually doing the mini game and getting lucky on your rolls. So most runners don't bother. They just run out the hard way.
You're on the last 4 characters. Over here on Type 0. So time will be coming shortly.
That's great. We knew Connie could do it. Thanks for your energy, everyone. I'm sure she's feeling it.
So Crrool has finally escaped Cavern and immediately gets an encounter, because this is FF1.
How close would you say we are, guys?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Okay, great.
So get ready, Indy.
Okay.
We'll have to stay quiet for a little bit then, as Crrool just makes his way into Giant's Cave and gives a Star Ruby to a giant. As you do.
So again, you can see kind of in this last phase that Coiney's trying to get extra hits in with Jack, so we can skip a full cycle. And it looks like that's time, so go Indy, go.
Awesome.
Go Indy, go, 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 go.
Good luck to all the FF1 guys. Thank you all so much for having Type 0 in the race. It was stuff happened, but you know what? I had a good time with it. I'm glad we were able to come out and play.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
Thank you all
guys.
very
Great
much.
job, everyone.
Fun to watch.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And on the indie side, we immediately see a troll NPC. NPCs can troll you in this game by just being in the way and not moving.
Yeah, that's the thing we didn't mention. Obviously, you know, you get random encounters when you're outside of towns, but then you just get NPCs standing in your way when you're inside of towns.
Yeah.
And
There
there's
are a
nothing
few.
you can do.
instances
You just
where-
have to wait for them to move.
So something we did mention on Crrool's side when it comes to the Knight's Armor, you do get an extra one so that you can sell it, because it gives you a lot of gil, which we then use to buy
Yeah,
stuff.
it's worth a lot of money. Like, especially for this point in the game, where you would otherwise have trouble buying, you know, 4 weapons for your characters.
Can I also just mention this never happened before? Because I was so excited that I not only bought the hammer for the equipment glitch, but also the rapier.
I noticed that. I thought
I
it was some
actually
kind of
didn't.
special route difference that you had.
I mean, maybe it was.
Just a mistake.
To be
Maybe
fair,
it was.
to be fair, I bought a sleeping bag. Nobody noticed. No.
If I were you, Indy, I'd sell it before you do any kind of equipment glitching. because
Yeah,
it'd mess up
probably.
your inventory.
So Crrool is making his way back to the Cavern of Earth.
Yeah,
So
we didn't
it's,
mention
we
that.
got Earth
Had to go do a fetch quest. You get to the 3rd level of the Cavern of Earth. We didn't actually go there, but there's a trapdoor that you can't get to because there's some kind of magic rock in the way. So you have to go out of the whole Cavern of Earth, all the way back to the top, go round the corner, through some mountains, go talk to a sage who gives you a staff, and then you come all the way back down, and you can finally get through to the 5th floor, which is where we were trying to go in the first place.
Because this is FF1 and nothing is ever simple.
Fetch quests. Final fetch quest 1.
First
Yeah.
look for me coming up in about 3 minutes, by the way.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Because we are coming up to the first of what are they called again? 4 fiends? No,
Elemental Fiends.
I was watching FF9 earlier, where they're called like the Guardians or something.
No, they're
I
just
don't know what
elements,
they're called.
as far as I'm aware.
There's 4 bosses who are elemental people, and this one is the Guardian of Earth, and his name is Lich. He's also probably the most difficult of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're difficult, more case of RNG heavy.
Trolly.
Yes, more like a troll. Lich can do, on his first attack, an attack called Blizzard. Bizarro, which will just absolutely kill your entire party. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's why I was
There's
mentioning
Bizarro.
HP earlier. If you have a higher HP, you might survive Blizzara. However, it's usually easier to just save before the boss and reload.
Yeah.
Guys, I mentioned earlier, we always have a character swap. Yes, currently his names don't make sense, but they will by the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's actually, we have to swap our characters around for the equipment glitch, because you have to have your character adjacent to the character who you are glitching off. So we will be swapping around the mages so that we can get the mages adjacent to the warrior.
So right now we need them in this current order for the equipment glitch, but later we do swap them. as Kid said.
Unfortunately, mechanics take precedence over meme names.
Yeah.
Also, not
I
sure
know,
if you,
shock horror, but it does.
not sure if you guys mentioned this, but we just got the loot from the princess. Actually, an item we will need later, very, very, very late in the run, and you can't walk out of the room without getting the item.
Yeah,
well,
good point. We
well, in some versions you can, but in a PSP version you can't.
just come up
but-
to Lich.
If you just talk to her, you just lose a few seconds. So we want to talk to her inside.
Should I stand corrected? It's the Fiend of Earth here.
Oh,
Sorry.
my bad, my bad.
They are fiends. Okay.
I would
So
like
let's
to
see if you
call
get
him
Bizarra.
the rock skeleton. Or the skeleton with the really cool cloak. And
There we
one
go.
nice thing about the barbarian sword strap,
Right.
having barbarian swords on all of the characters, is that you actually manage to do enough damage in your first turn.
Yeah,
Occasionally, with the Lust Dagger strap, you
Just
have to do more than
confirm,
one turn.
Kib, I'm gonna interrupt there, but in case you missed it,
Yeah, the split.
Yeah.
I
let's-
figured I'd just mention.
Hopefully, Seraph has seen this game before.
Hopefully, and he knows that's literally
Probably, but you know.
Who's paying attention? That hasn't fallen asleep yet. This is entirely possible.
I think we're all falling asleep at this point. After you heal each of the 4 fiends, you get a nice cutscene, which, as well as just being a great tea break for the runner, is actually the opening of an optional dungeon. But we're going to completely ignore those because that's not quick.
I mean, Crrool can do one of them to give my team a little bit of time, so I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, if Crrool wants to have a nap, Indy recommends that.
Yep. I don't think Indy's emoticons are in that just yet.
I would do it if I knew the commands. Not very good at commands.
We're having pirates fight over on Indy's side again. Again, just killed in one shot with flare.
Yep, those pirates did not know what hit them.
No, they did not.
I'm sure they were very polite as well. Hey, see here, this is our boat. Could you not steal the boat, please? And then we just barbecue them.
Yeah. We're not nice people.
No, we're
We
not.
like to think we are, but we're not.
We're the bad guys.
By the way, do you know what you can also barbecue?
Chicken nuggets?
Yes.
Or Choco nuggets.
How did I guess?
I don't know. Character names.
So, Crrool's next destination is Crescent Lake, where we are going to be doing... Actually, no, we are not going to be doing some shopping.
No.
We would normally be
Yeah,
doing some
right.
shopping.
But no, you do, don't you?
A little
you
bit of
do,
shopping?
Eaters and
You do a little bit of
Half the
shopping.
shopping.
Yeah.
Half the shopping. Reduced shopping, everyone.
Yeah,
so you
it's
never want
a
to
lot
hear.
less than we do in Last Stack of Root, that's for sure. So what you saw Andy do by going into Alfheim and then exiting is resetting the encounter rate. It's a neat little trick that you can do, just to maybe help avoid one encounter. But
Always want to avoid encounters when you can.
yes,
Especially when it can be an ambush.
yes, ambushes are bad. So you're seeing Crrool buy Mithril Axe to get black garbs. Whenever he decides to do that menu.
If it helps, the Lich split was a 34-26.
I think splits are
Yeah.
in terms of marathon time, not
Yeah.
game time, so...
Yeah, but that might make it a bit easier to determine what it would be. I don't know, in case you want it.
That's cool. Well, hope so. I'm sure Seraph's on it, guys.
Yep.
We've got some extremely capable organisers who know their stuff.
Yep. Sarah's
I'm
been doing
not
this for a
sucking
while.
up to them at all.
Are you sure about that, Kim? So, something we
Aw.
completely didn't mention was that Crrool just got the
Canoe.
canoe, yes.
I was
trying to think of the
gonna
word.
make a fantastic joke about the circle of life of mages.
Oh.
I was too busy actually worrying about
You'll have
splits.
another shot when Indy goes around to it.
Well, I just made it. That'll have to do.
Ah, that'll have to do. Yep, so the canoe lets us travel on lakes, which allows us to get to the ice, to the Cavern of Ice, which is the next dungeon that we do.
Yeah, Cavern of Ice is just around the river bend. I will
More
not
expensive
be
than the
shamed out of this.
Oh no. People knew what to expect.
If they
So
did,
the
they should have done.
Yeah, they should have done. So the Cavern of Ice is probably the most dangerous dungeon in the game. Because
By
things in there
far.
can just kill you.
Yeah, there's a lot of dangerous encounters. We're extremely underleveled. We're not meant to be here yet, really. We should have gone and done Marilith first, kind of. I mean, it's not a sequence break, but we're very underleveled.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that will wreck us. If we let
Oh.
it, or if we don't let it.
kind of an intended sequence break, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not impossible. It's just not recommended, really.
Yeah. But what we do use Cavern of Ice, which you'll see soon-ish in a few minutes. We use Evil Eye, which is a fight that's forced. It's got a fight style in order to level up our characters.
However,
Which
we're
is
just going to
very
get some more Piscadines, so...
Yeah. Or we could do that.
There's a lot of things that can slow you down here, and since these runners are using the Judgment Staff, it's still that really long animation, but it's better than trying to deal with them individually.
Yeah. It'll take forever. And we'll probably get you killed.
Yep. So, yeah, hopefully we will deal with all these encounters as we get them. We've got Spectres and Wraths, which are undead, therefore they can inflict paralysis, as one of them is so kindly demonstrating for me. They are runnable, but they're a bit of a challenge to run from at our level. So we're just going to Judgment Staff it. It's easier. Hey, stop.
What?
Do you want to build a snowman?
I would love to.
That one wasn't even like integrated into the
No. That was just-
Oh, Crrool just doing a bit of a belated menu there. That the escaping from things.
Oh,
Oh,
Me
the
on
near
Indie side,
paralock on
yeah.
IndiSR.
very close to getting paralocked there.
Good thing about the Judgment Staff being an item that you can use with any of your party members means that you don't just have to use the mages. They will get a more powerful hit from the Judgment Staff because they've got a higher magic stat. But if you're in a bind, you can use it with your thief or your warrior. Like, for example, we just did.
Yeah.
Fun fact, exactly that happened during my practice run yesterday.
Nice.
But I don't know what happened afterwards because it just quit. So, let's see what's happening.
So while Indy is gonna be completely wrecking Astos, Crrool is about to about to kill the Evil Eye.
Yes! Sorry. My warrior died.
So
Never heard someone so excited about the death of a character.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if someone dies, then warrior is the
Oh,
best.
we know, but it's still a bit mean to be so happy that... What's his name? 20. 20 is dead.
Yeah.
Rip
So
Ross.
speaking of character deaths, you may notice that we didn't kill Evil Eye until our warrior and thief were both dead. This is on purpose because we want to maximize the XP on our black mage and white mage. We don't really care about XP on warrior and thief at this point.
Yeah, the grinding here is purely for the mages. I believe I mentioned earlier, we need them at a high level to be able to get some spells.
Yep.
After we leave here, we'll be going shopping.
Yep. I believe Crrool will be getting them to level 18. Or do you get them to level 17 and then kill encounters on your way back? I don't know that you can do it either way.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a risk to
Yeah.
take
we
to
go
17.
to 18 and then kill one more.
Yeah.
You can take them to about 17 and a half and then hope for some good encounters on the way back, because you'll almost definitely have a couple of encounters that you'll have to kill on the way, and then you kind of over level. But also, if you don't get them, then you'll just have to mess around doing some more encounters.
Yeah. It's a marathon, so
yeah,
there's
it's-
no way you can do that.
It's pluses and minuses, you know.
So this goes on for a while. Oh, never mind. That was quite quick. You must have got a lot of unrandom models.
That was very quick. If anyone is interested in some of the other runs, we also do this grinding tactic, but we do it to level 31, which takes a lot longer.
Yeah. But because we have very overpowered equipment, we don't need to grind that much.
Yeah, rather than getting the third tier spells, we just use items that we've glitched to up our magic stats, and then we can use the lower tier of spells for higher damage or healing.
So on Crrool's side a little bit ago, we saw the first cockatrice.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
we all
you
hate
almost, you almost don't notice cockatrices unless you do.
Yeah.
They look like normal enemies. You can run from them fairly easily. But if you can't run from them, they can end your run.
Yes. They are very evil. And we all hate them. Speaking of hating, we all hate brooms as well.
Yes.
Don't mention it. Don't mention it.
These guys, the guys innocently running around looking so cute, occasionally they just block doors and then you can just never get out.
I'm pretty sure it cost someone a world record once.
Yeah,
and
something along those
yeah.
lines.
Yeah, Sabe ended up being, I think, 10 seconds behind world record, and he lost 15 seconds to the broom.
Yeah.
Brooms are the best, guys. This is why we invented the vacuum cleaner.
Meanwhile, Crrool is heading to a desert to find an airship, because a
You mean
desert
the-
is the best place for an airship, apparently. I suppose a desert makes more sense than underwater.
It's true. And now that we have an airship, guys, that means we can fly, we can fly, we can fly. Slightly adjusted.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is
we
it.
can now get around the world without random encounters.
Yeah, we can go the distance.
Oh no!
I was waiting for that one. I was holding on to that one.
You'll see Crrool is safety saving here. There's an extremely rare thing that can happen here in the desert. You can encounter a sandworm, which is just one single enemy that's not even that fast, but if you get ambushed by it and it uses earthquake, that has a chance to cause death to a party member, which means that it has a chance to cause death to all your party members. So yes, you can game over to a random encounter.
This may or may not have happened during the finals of this year's tournament.
Yes. It may have happened fairly recently.
And funnily enough, it also happened during the semifinal of the tournament 2 years ago.
It's funny, it never happens until it's absolutely not expected.
Yep. And then it does.
You can safety save every single run until the one time you don't.
Yeah. So, Crrool is now passing through the Citadel of Trials. Now you may think, bunch of teleporters, kind of difficult to navigate, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Just go for the one that's on the right, and you're fine.
I thought it was the bottom one every time.
Bottom one, bottom right-ish.
Bottom
Yeah.
right-ish. Yeah, something like that.
What? What?
What's going on? Oh no!
Oh, Indy get in trouble.
I stepped
Yeah.
on the ship and immediately got an encounter. Welcome to Final Fantasy 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. That's the thing, actually, we didn't mention about the ship. Those dock tiles, you can't get any encounters on those, which is just a nice little ray of sunshine in a horrible world.
Yeah. Speaking of nightmares, so Crrool just stepped on a spiked tile of nightmares. You can run from them, but it's very difficult, so it's just faster to kill them.
They are actually one of the hardest things to run from in the game for some
Yeah.
unknown reason. Like, there's lots of things you can't run from in the game, but then there's just those few things that you can run from, but they're extremely hard.
Speaking of extremely hard, a Medusa ambush.
Moving on. I see what you were doing there, actually. Yeah, that gaze, can is another thing that can turn people to stone.
Yeah.
So, yep, another use for those gold needles we had earlier.
Yes.
This is another spot where the original barbarian sword route has a little bit of an edge over the Lust Dagger route. We would be stopping to get a few extra things to glitch equipment with here, whereas Crrool can kind of just head for the exit.
So Mermaids and King Mermaids can put you to sleep, as the warrior and thief are demonstrating. It's also not fun.
Yeah, this is 3 ambushes in a row now, and all with relatively big parties.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds good.
Medusas! Medusa ambush is just not a fun thing.
No.
There you go. There's the paralysis. No, not paralysis. Stone we were looking for. Oh, there's the double stone we were looking for.
I mean, I'm not sure we were looking for it.
Well, expecting, shall we say that?
If I quickly may interrupt. Boom! Like Happy Fest with fireworks, yeah?
You haven't
Sorry.
gotten to the rhythm of the stream yet, have you?
What?
It's not FF10, it's Disney.
Yeah, it's just an FF10.
But
We do Disney memes here.
I'm trying to think of one, failing.
Yeah, same.
What do you
Meanwhile,
mean there's no Disney films about blowing up canals?
anyway, Crrool just picked up a rat's tail and has just killed some dragon zombies. So why we need the rat's tail is anyone's guess, but we give it to a dragon
I
to.
believe there was a theory in the last FF1 tournament that I think they're Bahamut's favourite delicacy of some description. Or he's scared of mice and therefore impressed by any warrior who can kill them.
I believe what the story in the game tells you is that you're going to find some kind of proof, and what it is what you expect to find. And I don't know why we would expect the tail of a rat, but
Well,
that basically.
Also possible is just Final Fantasy was the original game with the terrible translation. So
Also possible.
now it's Indy's turn to
Crrool
get the
safely
ocean
getting
down.
through the desert for the second time.
And now we head to Bahamut's cave. And get an encounter on the way, because why not?
Yep, and Bahamut is gonna make a man out of us.
Well done.
Thanks. Let's get down to business to defeat chaos. Which is essentially the purpose of the entire speedrun.
Pretty much. I mean, everything we do is pretty much just for preparation for chaos. I mean, obviously we have to do it, but even so.
In less memey terms, what we're actually getting here is our jobs rather than our classes. I've never been entirely sure what this does for the round.
It's a class upgrade or something.
Does it allow us to equip more things so that we
I think
can
it's
get
for
more
magic
things?
purposes. I think
Yeah.
You need it, yeah, you need it for magic.
Yeah, and allows us to get tier 7 magic or something.
Yeah.
It also allows us to actually use teleport. Without class change, we couldn't use it.
Ah, that's good.
That's
And
the main
teleport is
reason
very
why we
important.
did it. Although the main reason we're going into Citadel in the first place is the healing staff. We used to not do that, but back then we had to grind for level 32 or something.
Yep.
Otherwise we wouldn't heal enough.
Which is so much fun. Everyone loves grinding to level 30.
yeah. So speaking of magic,
Yeah,
Crrool
the
is now
shopping
buying
trip I was
Hirara
talking about earlier.
and teleport.
Yeah, I'm apparently still level 18 with my black.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh,
I
that's
can
not
get
good.
it after Marilyn. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, Crrool doing a little bit of a route change here. We usually do the shopping just before Marilift, just to make it a bit easier to heal and things. But he will be coming back afterwards to complete his shopping.
Although something to note is that Lust Dagger does it after Merilith anyway. So
Good point.
slight route changes. Yeah, slight route
Got that.
changes. Too. Or is doing my route? I'm not sure about White Mage route. I do Black Mage.
I can't remember what route I do. It's been too long.
Kind of surprised because my white mage is level 19.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I can't think of. Oh, you,
The
your black
stone.
mage was yeah, he was stoned in the.
Oh yeah, he was stoned.
Medusa
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
fight.
still, I
I don't
should
think
have
that
had
makes
enough
that much of a
experience.
difference.
But oh well.
Pretty
You want
unusual
Indy
though.
getting trolled by bats. 'Cause that's gonna be pretty trolly.
Yep. And let's see Indy take out the vampire in one hit. That poor unfortunate soul.
You're on a roll, kid.
Thanks. Sorry. You guys set me a challenge. I'm gonna rise to it.
Please, someone explain lava boosting, or I will.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I- can
we
we-
were
can
getting
I-
What would
there.
you do
Don't be
that?
patient.
I want. I want.
Do you want to do
Oh, okay, shit. Okay, no, you do.
Yeah, so, okay, we are heading through literally a volcano right now. You would think that we would avoid the lava. We don't, because you can't get encounters on the lava tiles. You do take 1 damage per tile that you stand on that's a lava tile. However, we can just heal up at the end and hope we don't get encounters on the rock tiles that we have to walk on. So you'll see a little bit of a heal midway through, because if you get ambushed when you're on the rock tiles and you've all got 1 HP, things can go south extremely quickly.
We didn't have a Merilith split, right? It's Kraken next.
Yes.
Good
I
question.
believe so, yeah.
If it's Merilith, then it's coming up. I'm starting the Merilith fight
I
now.
think it was Merilith.
If it's Kraken, we still have.
I think we have
Let me take a look.
Kraken.
It was
Yeah.
Merilith. It was Merilith.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
Are
yeah,
you
Lich
near
Merilith
Lich
was
right
that.
now, Indy?
In that case,
I'm
Merilith
leaving.
split coming up for me.
Okay. Durf, this is your splits upcoming warning. Probably shouldn't be calling out Seraph on stream.
Probably not. Okay, that is a
Right.
split for Team Choco.
Problem with bosses in this game is they don't take very much longer than random encounters.
Nope. I mean, they look impressive, but they're really not. Especially when you're very overpowered like we are.
Yeah, we're overpowered, underleveled, but as long as we go first, then they don't get to hurt us at all.
Which you generally do because we have speed boosting equipment.
Yep. So again, we've opened the optional dungeon, which is the Hellfire Chasm. I believe there was some talk of adding this into this speedrun when we were talking about possible runs to do for the Interlude Marathon. Ended up cancelling that plan. We've got to go fast, guys. We can't just go into random optional dungeons.
Shit. So it was Lich, Merilith, Tiamat, Chaos, right?
Yes.
I think for the shortest run in the marathon, we've actually probably got the most splits per time.
Probably.
Poison chicken nuggets. Yeah, I didn't notice that. It's a good thing with Indy's character names. You might see some interesting names there. Paralysis chicken nuggets, stone chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Ooh, those are my favorite.
So, Crrool, going to the wrong place to begin with. So he forgot to buy the Portal Fairy.
Yeah, I'm
we
kind
didn't
of thrown
see
off.
anything.
Kind
I
of
did.
thrown off by the fact that I was still level 18.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
having to adjust your route for
It's fine
unexpected
now.
things.
I'm
So
at
buy the Portal Fairy and Giant's Tonics there. Giant's Tonics are for Chaos. Very important that we get them. And then after dealing with encounters,
This is one of the only unrunnable encounters on the world map. It's
Yeah.
just to be difficult, really.
yeah.
But yeah, as long as you notice and you don't accidentally run from it, you could again turn it off with turn it off with quick judgment stuff.
And now we head to Gaia.
Yep, and we're going to be releasing the fairy that we just bought. Why was there a bottled fairy in a marketplace? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. There we go. Now we've got full spells, I believe.
Yep.
Most of these spells we actually only use once or twice. They're not very important, but they do save quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
For example, the teleport spell, it's not as good as the emergency exit. It doesn't take you out of the dungeon, but you can use it as many times as you like, and it takes you down one floor of a dungeon. So we use that.
Used quite soon in the
times.
Circle Shrine.
Yeah, having the spell saves approximately 4.5 minutes on average, so it was worth it for me to pick that up.
Definitely worth it, yeah.
Yes, definitely worth it.
And the fairy's pond is right at the back. Just to be difficult, just right out the way.
Yep. But fortunately, we have teleport, so after talking to the fairy, we can just zip out of there.
I mean, she's also right next to the back exit, but you can't
Yeah.
get in the back exit because that would just be convenient, I suppose.
That would be convenient. But what can you do?
These towns only give us the bare necessities, they don't give us a back entrance as well.
Yes. So now we're heading to Onrak.
Basically, the only interesting thing about Onrak is you can get underwater there, which I suppose is a fairly interesting thing about a
Yes.
town.
Go to Sunken Shrine.
So there's just a random mermaid hanging around here who says, "Can you save the mermaids?"
And fortunately, the NPC didn't troll us this time.
Yes, that blue-haired guy up there can just stand in your way for about 5 tiles. Just a bit of pain.
It's pretty bad.
Oh my god.
So now Crrool is heading under the sea and into Sunken Shrine.
I thought I'd let you have that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I just had to let it go.
Oh.
Thank
I'm
you.
dying twice side this time.
So, again, Sunken Shrine, it can be a bit of a difficult one. It's not particularly that it's like dangerous. It's that there's quite a few unrunnables here.
Yeah, there's a lot
It's
of them.
not like the ice cavern where things can absolutely wreck you if they want to. It's just kind of you have to stop and kill things because otherwise you'll never leave. And you know, sometimes you can get absolutely no unrunnables while you're here, and sometimes you can get one pretty much every encounter.
Yep.
The water elementals are unrunnable. The Sahagin princes are unrunnable.
But
What
to
else
make it
is
even-
unrunnable?
To make it even more complicated, if a water elemental is with something else, it's
Yeah, then
runnable.
it's fine.
When it's alone, it's not. It really keeps you on your toes.
Ghosts. That's the other one that's unrunnable.
Yes, there you go.
Don't you just love it when the game provides when you ask? What is
Yeah.
it that's the other unrunnable counter? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I'm already at 4 unrunnables before Rosetta Stone. This is pretty lucky.
Excellent. I needed to see more ghosts just to really remind me what they are. They're offended that I forgot them. Yep, first floor. Hunter. This many. Not a good start.
No. So Crrool is getting the Rosetta Stone. The best thing about this floor is that you can't get encounters. For some reason. I don't actually know why. Just can't.
Yeah, you need the Rosetta Stone for the late game fetch quest. There's like an early game fetch quest and a late game fetch quest where you get items and you take them to the next place, where you get another item to take them to the next place, and just. And the thing is that if you miss them, like you can come to the whole Sunken Shrine and go through all of it, kill Kraken at the end, and still not get the Rosetta Stone and have to go back for it. It doesn't really tell you that it's something that you need. It's just something you kind of have to work out for yourself by opening every chest.
We saw the second use of teleport there to get us down 2 floors. It's so much easier than going all the way back.
And more ghosts. Also, I feel like we haven't checked back on Indy for a while. I think he's heading down to Lich.
I'm almost at floor 5.
He's heading down to Lich, and he wanted to get some ghosts to match Crrool's ghosts. Ghosts everywhere, guys.
Whoa.
It's almost as if this is Halloween.
This is Halloween.
I mean, at least this is not a ghost hill, because otherwise it would be a ghost in a shell.
You're really not getting the theme, are you?
He might be doing it on purpose. I don't know.
Indy,
Yeah.
you need to become one of us. That's a slightly more obscure reference. Anyone seen The Lion King 2?
Yes. I got that.
Okay, good. Excellent.
No.
That's a great song. If you guys haven't heard it, you should.
It's actually a really good song, yeah.
When do I get paid for this by Disney?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're completely missing the part where there's actually another equipment glitch going on.
Yes.
We are putting the survival vest on basically everyone, and we're going to have that to the end of the game. It raises our agility by
Let's put lordly robes on the white mage.
loads of stuff. And lordly robes for our
glitch.
mages.
Glitch for me.
Oh, excellent.
Yep, split
of
for
Senpai.
Team Mob.
We were totally paying attention.
That somewhat was.
Also, can someone give me the in-game time for this?
37 something. I didn't see the seconds.
Good job. Yeah, I forgot you guys' live feeds, so I haven't seen it. Crrool slowly making his way through the Sunken Shrine, which is not being particularly kind. But less of the unrunnables on the higher floors here. More of the maze, though. I love the chat's getting involved. Indy, can you feel the love tonight from Crrool's character names?
Oh.
Yeah.
We accept submissions, chat.
Yes. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
And finally, the third fiend is Kraken.
Yes.
He's not going to be too difficult.
No, he goes down there pretty quickly, just like
And he's
everything
down.
else.
I mean, guys, if you wanna meme me to death so Chaos can't do it, be my guest.
We're trying.
Yeah, we definitely.
Oh,
tried.
he's on board! Yes! We knew eventually you'd be part of our world. Anyway, third optional dungeon is open. Are you guys starting to cotton onto the pattern here? Every time you kill one of the fiends, their corresponding dungeon opens up. So there, you've got the fire one and the earth one, and this is the water one. So you go in there, and it's generally water themed.
Yep. But you won't see
We won't be
it.
going in there. No.
No.
How even?
And this is our final use of the canoe, I believe. Because one more fetch quest item we need.
Yes.
is in the most annoying dungeon in the game. Welcome,
Yeah.
guys, to the Waterfall Cavern.
This place is awful because the encounter rate is pretty big.
I think it's
It's
the highest in the
absurd.
game.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Even if you use cheats, it's still really high.
Yeah.
We're not using cheats. You can't use cheats in this run, but people who have tried that, yeah, it still doesn't work.
Yeah, they got caught on this dungeon. Because the encounter rate is suddenly the same as normal just because of how high it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, we've got the nightmares, and with the extra levels we've got, and with our increased agility gear, we can run from them a bit more reliably now. So I think it's runner choice really whether you do or not. But there you go. Crrool is running from the nightmares.
Yeah.
Again, as you can see, you can sometimes end up not being able to run.
Meanwhile, Indy getting the black garb.
Black Garb, that's going to save his butt in the can of ice.
Yep. I mean, you can do it without black garb. It will just be really difficult.
Yep.
Which I'm pretty sure I've done that before. Actually, I've done ice cavern without
Nice
black
one.
garb. It was not fun. It was not the best time of my life. Just say that.
No, I mean, we've all done it. I've forgotten a random menu and had to fight Garland with knives. The menus here, they look very simple once you've practiced them, and they're very quick, but mess them up and you can really ruin the run because they are so essential. On that note, we've just picked up the ribbon, which is super essential for the
Oh
run.
yeah, very, very necessary.
We can also glitch the ribbon onto various characters, which we will be doing. It's a bit more of a complicated glitch, because we have to glitch the ribbon into a Gigantaxe, which is on the weapon slot, and then we use that Gigantaxe to glitch another ribbon onto the accessory slot.
So you notice that they put the ribbon on the shield slot? You may be wondering, why don't we put other armors on the shield slot? Well, there's a very simple reason for that. If you put the wrong item in the shield slot, it can soft lock the game. Because every time you block, there's an animation, and if the game can't connect an animation with a corresponding item, you soft lock. But fortunately, the ribbon doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, interestingly for the ribbon, if you block something, it looks like a sword. So it should be a ribbon, but they hold up a sword. Maybe the ribbon secretly is a sword. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe, it's like Needle in Game of Thrones. Maybe it's actually a sword called ribbon.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Or there's just an animation attached to it for no real reason.
Who knows? So now we learn a language in record time.
Yep. What exactly happens here is you talk to this guy who says, "You've got the Rosetta Stone. Remember we picked that up in the Sunken Shrine?" And he says, "I'll teach you this language." And then he jumps, and you wave a hand. He jumps twice, and you wave a hand again. And then you've learnt the language. Magic.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
So now we go to Lufinia, and you may be wondering, why do we go so far away from it? Well, because we have to. There is only one spot we can land, and it's about a mile away from Lufinia. And it's not fun.
Yeah, you can't land on forest tiles, and you can't land on marsh tiles, and so the game goes, what can we put between here and Lufinia? I know! Forest tiles and marsh tiles.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to park over there.
And a lot of Minotaur zombies, which are unrunnable, so you
Yeah.
have to kill them. Just to make it, your journey that much more difficult.
So they give us a really long run, and then we have to do that. Again, we are using the Judgment Staff to get rid of all these pesky encounters that have, more than 2 enemies. If it's kind of 2 enemies, you might see the runners switch to the Barbarian Sword and just attack them instead. Meanwhile, Indy's just reaching the Levy Stone, I believe.
Yep.
And going to be heading on to his grinding portion.
After he gets an encounter. Let's see if any NPCs troll. Oh, yep. There we go. almost on cue.
Yep. Lufenia is famous. You see the very narrow passageways and the large number of priestesses running around. Yeah, those priestesses will walk down those passageways where only one person can pass, and they'll stand there, look at you, and go, "Yeah, well, what do you want?" And yeah, just wait for them to walk away because there's nothing you can do.
So, Indy's warrior survived Thundara.
Oh, good job. At this point, it kind of becomes... Indy's Black Mage has very low HP, so he couldn't survive another Thundara, even with his mages healed up.
He had to get out of that fight. And now he has to wait for... There we go, another Thundara.
Yep. Which means the warrior has an extra level, bonus level. I don't think that's going to achieve anything, but we might as well celebrate it.
It does mean the grind might take slightly longer, but yeah, it shouldn't make too much difference.
And hey, more HP is always a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking of HP, Crrool's Black Mage is looking to be a decent amount. Could do with a bit more.
Banzai levels? Not quite.
He's got about 190 at the moment.
Oh, okay, nearly Banzai levels. Not bad.
Nearly.
That's pretty good for this point in the game.
Yep.
Indy, your name is Blessing the Black Mage.
What?
The Black Mage is called Indy, and he's got 194 HP in Flying Fortress.
Nice.
Speaking of Flying Fortress, this is another part that's quite annoying for encounters.
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. This is the Mirage Tower, which leads to the Flying Fortress.
Yeah, Mirage Tower. I also misspoke. So.
Yeah, we'll be heading up another place with a very high encounter rate. Luckily, all of these are runnable, except for an extremely rare 1 in 64 encounter that hopefully we won't be seeing. But yeah, we'll be heading up to a teleporter, which will take us to a place where we can appreciate all the colours of the wind.
Nice. It's been a while since we've petted.
Sorry. I'm running out.
Yeah, we are.
I swear every time we go on about how easy the encounters are, they choose to tell us they're wrong.
Yeah. Now Indy has finished the grind and is on his way out. After a fight style, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of spike styles, Crrool is coming up to one soon. Could be a blue dragon.
Yeah, that blue dragon is the 1 in 64 enemy I was talking about earlier. Which you really shouldn't see, let alone twice in a row.
Yeah. But this one, the one that's coming up is forced, so
that may have
unrunnable,
happened to
so I
me.
have to kill it.
These weird moments in this game where you get such bizarre RNG that you start looking at your settings. Like, did I accidentally turn cheats on or something?
No.
Oh dear.
No.
Is this an ambush?
Yes. No.
Indy's been ambushed by a
I would have just judgment
Yeah.
staffed
I would
I
not
would've-
run from that.
there. Yeah, I would have judgment staffed, 100%.
Oh, we've made it.
You got really lucky there, Indy.
Yeah, I went out and immediately wanted to go in.
Yeah, and 2 steps from the end of the door as well. Ouch.
Yeah.
So, the Flying Fortress, which is, I believe, meant to be a place that's like inhabited by robots and stuff. I think it's kind of like sci-fi. There's also a random fantasy eyeball. Don't ask questions. But yeah, this is the home of the 4th fiend, Tiamat, who is also a split. We will find her on the 5th floor.
Mm-hmm.
On the 5th floor, we may also find something terribly exciting.
Yes. So, can we get some hype in chat for the one, the only Warmech?
He's an extremely rare encounter that's only found on this one floor. in this entire place in the game other than the optional dungeons. So yeah, we kind of tend to get a bit hyped up about him. He also drops a hell of a lot of experience if you are lucky enough to be able to kill him. However, it's extremely rare. You very rarely see it in runs, so that would be quite cool.
Let's hope one of the runners get him, because it would be fun to see him in the relay.
That would be great.
Have we ever actually seen him in the relay? Because I can't
I
recall.
don't think so.
No.
I think so. No.
I mean, forget who actually wins in the end. Obviously, anyone who gets a war mech,
Oh yeah.
their team is the true winner.
Yes, I agree.
There's another encounter here that's kind of possible to run from, but quite difficult to run from, which is the air elementals.
Yep. So here we are on the 5th floor.
This is the
Where
fifth
they will be making a safety save because war mech.
Yeah. They're making a safety save and they're running up and down this corridor until they get a war mech.
Yeah. So let's see. Will we get war mech?
Will they get any encounters? You can get it after Tiamat, but
It's a lot rarer
it's less
after
likely.
there wasn't enough war mech hype in chat. You let us down. You let us down.
Yeah, split coming up. I think.
Yeah, Tiamat takes about 2 rounds. Not quite as quick as the others. Oh no, I forgot. Barbarian Sword Strats.
Yep. Still one round.
And Thunderbolt, which tends to wipe out mages in this part. But because we've got Indy, who is the super overpowered black mage, also that is split now.
Yeah, that's split.
Indy
Also,
survived Thunderbolt.
What the fuck?
we have ribbons on mages in the old route, so Thunderbolt isn't nearly as dangerous here.
Oh yeah, good point.
Thunderbolt gives us 50% resistance against all elemental damage. So we only take half of the damage that you would take in the newer route.
Yep. The original Barbarian Sword route was quite a lot safer.
In some ways it was safer,
yeah.
and some it was more dangerous. But in this fight it's definitely
take
safer.
a bit more time to be a bit safer, and kind of bit less time on menuing, which sort of evens out.
One more shot for Crrool to get.
One more shot at war mech.
Nope, didn't happen.
Unfortunately, Indy getting a bit of trouble with encounters here, including struggling to run away, despite being at this point in the game.
Sphinxes are.
Sphinxes shouldn't be difficult to run away from, but
this is definitely one.
he's just heading into the Citadel of Trials.
Yeah. And Crrool is heading into the final dungeon of the game, Chaos Shrine.
Again, with the cutscene that opens a dungeon that we will completely ignore.
Yes.
This is the PSP exclusive dungeon, which is the Labyrinth of Time, which is where we would get the Barbarian Sword for defeating the hardest version of the hardest optional super boss. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to glitch it.
It's a really cool dungeon, though. It's a shame we don't get to show it off here.
Yeah.
It takes like half an hour, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there like 8 versions of Chronodia?
Yep.
That you can fight?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and the 8th and hardest version of Chronodia drops the Barbarian Sword.
Yeah.
If that tells you how much we're not meant to have this item be glitched.
Yeah. So, this is Chaos Shrine, where there's a abnormal amount of unrunnable encounters.
Yes. Chaos Shrine is, it's the final dungeon, and it's going to go out with a bang.
Yeah. So it's tricky. Like purple worms, for example.
Jeez.
Good start. I mean, it's better than white dragons, which you can also get on this floor.
Yes. Or affectionately known as double dragons.
Yes.
Named
after Double Drop,
yes.
who likes to get them.
Yes, he's quite famous for getting them and dying
When I
to them.
say likes, I don't mean likes. Green dragons, also unrunnable. Basically, if you see a dragon, you can't run from it.
Except dragon zombies.
Yes, except those. There's always an exception to every rule. But yeah,
White dragon, no. It's white zombies that you can run from. White dragon.
White dragons are the only ones you can run away from, but they're
I
so
would
dead,
recommend
you
it.
might want to kill them.
You can run from them, but again, they're another one of those that is quite difficult to run from. And in that time that you're struggling to run from them, they cast a very powerful AoE attack. Again, I'm explaining this, but it's probably about to happen, so you can probably see it in a couple of floors' time. This is technically sort of a mini-boss. It's a spike tile, but it goes down in one hit, so less said about that. It's fine.
So, do you remember that item we got right at the beginning of the game? Yeah, it's used here. To open the passage.
Yeah, so the quirk about that one boss there is that it has huge defense, which means that normally it would take a few hits for him to go down. Because of the barbarian sword, it goes down in one hit.
Yeah. I believe I once tried casting magic on it for I don't know why, and it just did nothing.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a
It's
shock.
got ridiculously high physical and magic defense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the speedrun really shows that this is actually quite a difficult game if you try and play it casually.
Yeah, it really is, actually.
Thoroughly cheesing it with the most powerful items that you're meant to get by fighting optional bosses. That was another unrunnable encounter, by the way, and one that you basically have to use the judgment stuff for because they come in such large packs.
Yeah.
Also, the ice gixes have quite a high HP range, so not HP range. What am I talking about? HP. So you would have to individually kill them all, which is fun. Okay, and welcome to the place that I like to affectionately call the White Dragon's Floor.
Yes.
You can either get about 6 White Dragon encounters here, or you can run through it with no encounters at all, which looks like Crrool's preferred route.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get Chimeras here, which you can run from instantly, or you get White Dragons. And wow, Crrool just got blessed by the gods of RNG.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
I was waiting for a perfect demonstration of why they're so
Yeah,
dangerous.
I was waiting for White Dragon. It just didn't happen.
This
To
is
be
a
fair,
very
I'm
good
controlled
Chaos
to the
Shrine
point
run.
that I'm like 5 minutes behind average, so a little bit of luck isn't that bad.
Yeah, this is fine.
Also, this is still a below average glitch for me, so...
It's looking pretty good.
Yep, Earth Elementals are also unrunnable, so happy kill them. Funnily
Again,
enough,
Quite high HP too.
there are 4 Elementals. Earth, Fire, and Water are all not flayable, but Air Elementals are. Just to, throw you for a loop.
As I said, all rules have exceptions.
Okay, you notice it's going to be safety saving here because Lich is coming up.
And we are, in fact, heading fairly quickly to Chaos now, actually.
Mm-hmm. We're almost there.
Now, you guys might be thinking, hang on, already killed Lich. You are correct. You have to kill all the 4 fiends again because actually secretly happened when we went into the Chaos Shrine is we accessed what I think is the Dark Crystal, which sent us, what is it, 200 years back in time?
Something like that.
Those guys that we already killed, we've gone back in time and we're killing them more.
Because as you do.
Did you see the funny joke the game threw at me?
What, red dragons?
Rock Dragons are.
Yeah, these are quite rare. You don't usually get these guys.
No.
This is usually quite a free floor. You can just run from everything. But
Yeah, there's
Okay.
two unrunnables. It's the 1 in 64 and the 3 in 64.
Yeah. But,
Just a bit
hi-ho, that's FF1 for you.
let's see if it can give you another one. That would be great. You can also get through this whole floor with no encounters. Yeah. Why would you want that? So yeah, at the end of this floor is Marilith for the second time. She can do some AoE fire attacks here. But we should be able to take her down quite quickly.
The fuck?
Yeah, I think it's about, chat's right, I think about 2,000 years. So it's quite a long way.
The fuck is happening?
What's going on, Indy?
I don't know. My emulator's doing very
Oh
weird.
dear, we're having
Oh,
some
dear.
technical difficulties. Please bear with us. Excuse runner panic here.
I'm just gonna reset. Okay, wait. I'm quickly gonna reset the emulator.
Okay,
Okay.
pretend you see nothing, everyone. On Crrool's side, we're heading into the water floor. Who was the
Yes.
water themed guy? Can we get a pop quiz? No, I'm a commentator. This is Kraken's floor. We have to kill all the water elementals because, as you remember, these guys are unrunnable.
Okay, this looks normal again. Thank you.
Good.
Good. All sorted now.
Yes, thank you. This looks so much normal. Because for some reason it looked like 12 FPS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not that this would be any difference to the run itself, but
So we are heading towards Marilith on Indy's side, which is split, of course.
Just throw Seth for a loop.
I'm really not very subtle about this split prompting thing. We've already established that.
Yeah. The thing is, Crawler's also heading towards Marilith after beating Kraken.
Yes,
So,
true.
just to make things even more complicated.
Yep, you're going to see some double Marilith going on it.
I've
Now,
already
Kraken
beaten
can mess you
Marilith.
up on some other versions of the game. However, Barbarian Sword beats
Oh, yeah,
everything.
my bad. Crawler's already beaten Marilith. My bad.
Yeah, I'm about to head into Tiamat.
Yeah. The Tiamat's actually kind of a scary fight, a little bit.
Yeah,
But-
Tiamat's got quite a big leap in HP and
that's Marilith for me.
yep, Marilith split now.
Yep.
So Tiamat, for the first time, we're going to be using haste on our ninja. Now, this doesn't do what it does in lots of other Final Fantasy games. In fact, haste actually basically doubles the number of attacks that we get in one attack. Number of hits we get in one attack. Which, if we use on a ninja who has high agility, means that he does loads of hits. So he did, I think, 11 there. So yeah, essentially doubles his damage, but in a kind of specific way.
I'm also about to head into the final dungeon, so the next runner for
Yep,
Team
we
Choco
are
has to get
about to
ready.
head to Chaos if we can start getting the next run ready. I believe we're heading on to 13-2, guys. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Should be
More
interesting.
time shenanigans. We've started high with the kind of, you've gone 200 years in the future, but yeah, I think 13-2 kind of blows the time travel stuff out of the water. They win there.
Yes. So one last menu for Crrool. Just giving golden rods to the white mage and equipping
Yeah.
clothes to slow her down a little bit.
This is
Because we
where
actually want white mage to
our-
go last.
Yeah, this is where our white mage is going to shine. She hasn't done very much until now, but we need her for this fight because every turn she's going to be casting Healara, which with our boosted equipment is going to have basically the equivalent of the same HP we gain as Healaga, but without the level grinding. So, stuff is about to move very quickly, guys.
Also, can I just say my ninja has 356 HP, which is insane.
Yeah,
pretty
I was
great.
thinking that. That's a lot. So usually we use Giant's tonics on like characters with low health P, but
Yeah, the black
We don't
mage
need
and the
it for
ninja usually.
yeah, we definitely did it for the black mage though. Even though it was over 200, it's still a bit low.
My usual would be that you'd use the Giant's Tonic on the ninja if they're under 270 HP, as we're
Yeah.
up to about 360. That tells you how much he's got.
Yeah.
My cutoff is 275 usually, and then 250 for the black mage.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So as you can see, White Mage always going last because we've essentially taken her agility boosting equipment off. That means that at the end of every turn, no matter what Chaos does, we will heal as much as we can to full. And Chaos has a lot of powerful AoE attacks.
Yes. He can actually genuinely kill you if your HP is low enough.
I mean, that did
So-
163 on the
Yes.
Black Mage.
Yeah,
I've
10
had
is
Black
happening
Mages.
within like a minute or so, so get
Yeah.
ready.
We are ready to swap, hopefully.
Yeah. Now it's pretty much just spam X. Or well, hold down X to win.
Yeah,
I should say.
we've boosted all our characters with haste, And we are going to heal at the end of every turn, and we're just going to wait for damage rolls and hope we kill.
Mhm. That's not much to talk about in terms of chaos. Now that it's like I said,
Now that it's all set
pretty
up,
much
yeah.
just Dex win.
I believe we're going to be passing over to Ricky on Team
I
Choco.
believe so, yes.
Fine.
Okay, that's time. Go, go.
It's time here. And well done, and a great run
Yeah,
for Crrool.
yeah. Well done, Crrool. GG.
Good luck on the last couple dungeons, Indy. You got this, dude.
Yeah, you got this, Indy. Speaking of which, he's heading into Sunken Shrine as chaos sinks into the ground.
He's heading under the sea. There you go, I got to say it this time.
Yeah, you got to say, yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah, it could be our guest.
I wonder if we can pass this on to the 13-2 team.
I wonder. Just keep it going.
If you have more interesting stuff to say, please go ahead.
Yep, please introduce yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm Zero. I'm the commentator for, or I'm a commentator for 13-2.
And I'm Vicky. I'm the winner.
I'm Conry. I'm the other runner for 13-2. I'm just going to play the role of commentator for the time being. Meanwhile, go Indy.
Hopefully Indy doesn't get trolled so much by encounters.
It's not looking great so far.
No, it's not.
I mean, we've got to be impartial. We're team commentary, so let's hope for even amounts of unrunnables. Go Indy!
Never give up.
In the meantime, Ricky is fighting the tutorial battle for Final Fantasy 13-2 Chaos Bahamut, which just explains the basics of combat. They work pretty similar to Final Fantasy 13. They have an ATB bar that constantly charges up, and then you can queue attacks into it that will execute once the ATB has reached all of the attacks that you've queued. For the first phase of the Chaos Bahamut fight, he's just going to use lightning strikes because they do the most damage. There's a transition at half HP, after which he becomes a lot more aggressive and uses Humble Vice, which is a very scary attack. A lot of speedrunners like to try and just reset until they get a Chaos Bahamut fight where they don't have to heal, but of course this isn't very marathon safe. So now he's on the second phase of the fight, where we're essentially just trading lightning strikes for focus bolts, and there's a very interesting thing that can happen in this fight, which we're going to try and provoke to happen a lot of time, which is if you're getting attacked while you're trying to cast a focus bolt, the focus bolt goes off, but it gets knocked out of your ATB, so it still happens, you still get the damage, but it doesn't actually take the ATB away. So we're trying to provoke this as much as possible to make this fight go by really quickly.
Yeah, so even though it might be a counterintuitive, you want to get interrupted as much as possible in this fight.
Unfortunately, this is the only time something like this happens.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
After that, interruptions are bad.
run, wouldn't it? Meanwhile, Indy's making his way to Kraken.
Yep.
You guys, are you nearly there now? I wasn't paying attention to the floor. Which floor are you on?
Giant X, light X.
Ah, cool.
Getting stuck on Sahagan Princess.
Yep.
Lightning didn't realize that Ricky is not done yet and already set time.
she just
I mean,
has
she-
really high expectations.
But I mean, she was done. Now we are on to Sarah, the next runner of the 13.
Backup runner.
She understands what relay is about. But yeah, Ricky is now at the Necton fights. There will be 5 fights in a row that consist of Nectons and Mionectons. Mionectons are the bigger ones and Nectons are the smaller ones. And Nectons die just from a single string of Ruin, but the Mionectons you want to stagger. And you do that by shifting to paradigm called Slash and Burn, which has Sarah as a Ravager role. And Ravager role is a role that it's meant for chaining, which is, you can see the chain in the upper right corner, and once it reaches the limit, the percentage it says, like in Mionecton's case 110%, the Mionecton will get staggered, and the chain bar will get increased by 100. And
Shit.
then that chain number is a direct multiplier to your damage. So once you stagger an enemy, you deal 100% more damage of the original damage.
We're just heading into the Kraken fight here. It's going to be a quick one, because FF1. So, split coming up.
No, Kraken's not split.
Is it not?
No.
Please ignore me, Kraken is not split.
The next split is Tiamat.
I mean, air boss, water boss,
Yeah.
it's just the same thing.
They're all
but,
blending
like,
together.
I mean, air is just condensed water, right?
I
God,
mean,
chat's gonna erupt with scientists
sure.
right now.
Sure.
Please don't kill me, chat.
I mean, you should be
I haven't
prepared
done
for the ire of
science.
that.
Oh no, Swansea is not proud.
Final Fantasy 13 2 has just time traveled to a time where the Kraken wasn't split. Don't worry about it.
Don't pick on my science when 13.2 is playing right now.
The tutorial fights are also a decent opportunity to speak of one of the, I think, most brilliant mechanics about the 13 and 13.2 combat system that unfortunately don't get explained by the game itself, and that is ATB refreshes. What it essentially is, it's not exact, but as a ballpark, more or less every 12 seconds when you perform a paradigm shift, you get a full ATB bar. This will be one of the reasons why you will, when we actually get the opportunity to customize our own paradigms, see that we sometimes run the same paradigm multiple times, just because that'll allow us to just ATB refresh between those paradigms for just amplified effect of said paradigm.
Also to note really quickly, I didn't got any bonus Phoenix Dance.
Is that all you're going to tell me? Your name? Who are you?
Okay.
What do you do?
So yeah, what you would like to get from those first Necton fights is you would like to get Phoenix Down drops. They are just for selling for gil, because they sell for 500 gil, which is a lot in this stage of the game. But he didn't get any, so he's a little bit low on gil, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's not so really bad.
Yeah.
Just an extra bonus if you have it.
And now we actually get to move in the map properly, and there you can see that enemies are spawning randomly or semi-randomly in Ricky's path, and you can see that when an enemy spawns, a clock appears on the screen and starts the visor starts rotating. So far, it has been green. It has started in a green zone for at the start, and that means that the encounter is passive. And what passive encounter is, it stays still as long as the visor is in green, and after it goes into the yellow section, then the enemies start moving and try to attack you. There are also aggressive encounters that start in the yellow zone, and they start moving immediately. But now the first boss, Gogmagog. Gogmagog 1 is a little bit annoying because we don't have access to the paradigms yet, or customizing the paradigms yet, so the only paradigm with the Ravager role, so the only paradigm that can do actual chaining is Slash and Burn, and only Serra is a Ravager there, so it's a little bit slow to stagger Gogmagog. So what you do is you shift between Slash and Burn and Double Trouble, which is the two commandos. That is to get ATB refreshes and to keep Noel's feet on the ground. Because that swipe attack that Gogmagog just did, if Noel is in the air while the swipe hits Noel will get stunned and wastes a lot of time.
Indy just learning the language. If you guys want to time how long it takes, we start now.
We made it.
Wait up.
And we're done.
Yeah.
Compare that to all your years of learning languages if you did that in education. And feel bitter.
Yeah.
I wish I could learn languages that fast.
Wouldn't it be great?
Don't we all? Don't we all? But
Side is off limits for now. Well, shouldn't we check it out though?
I mean, I suppose if you have to go to a sunken shrine and rescue some mermaids and kill a giant tentacle boss, and more to the point, breathe underwater, which chat's just established is not possible, then maybe you should get to learn in 3 seconds for your troubles.
yeah, we can only dream, and as we all know, a dream is a wish your heart makes.
That is true.
So Ricky is doing his first menu of the run, and he started by leveling up the Serra and Noel's Ravager role, and we level up only Ravager. We mainly level up only Ravager in this run because we want we want to use magic for the most part of the run, and Ravager gives most magic boosts.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Indy getting trolled by NPC.
Indy just got maximum troll by Priestess. Some of them control you for 1 tile, that one control you for 4 tiles.
Also, we want to get the high-level Ravager skills as early as possible, so we can start using those to deal a lot of damage. Then he changed. He was able to change the paradigms finally, which got unlocked after Gogmagog, and he set a bunch of paradigms. And if it's not clear, paradigms are a set of roles that the characters have. So each party member is assigned a role in a paradigm, and you can have 6 different paradigms per fight. And you can shift between them as you please, but they can only do like Ravager actions when they are in Ravager, and Commando actions when they are in Commando, and so on.
Indy just heading up the Mirage Tower, which He will be heading to Kraken, which is actually a split.
To Tiamat.
Tiamat! Oh, jeez.
What did you
This is normally the point where I start complaining about when the last time I slept was, but I won't do that to you guys.
To kind of expand on the random encounters, what Ricky really doesn't want to have happen right now is to run into a Gorgon opposite. That is the only aggressive encounter in this area. As Zero explained earlier, aggressive encounters start in yellow, and when the Moklock is in green, you can even touch an enemy and it will not start an encounter. Once the Moklock is in yellow, just touching an enemy will start an encounter with them. Gorgon opposites are really, really fast. So they are really tricky to avoid. Sometimes they're just straight up impossible to avoid if they directly charge towards you and you can't escape. Gorgon opposites obviously aren't needed, they lose a bunch of time, so obviously we'd like to avoid running into them if we can.
Fortunately, Gorgon opposite, if one were to spawn, are fairly fast to kill, so it doesn't lose as much time as some of the aggressive later on in the run.
Okay, now we just have to head for the gate.
I don't get it. What was that?
You want to take a moment to say goodbye before we leave?
Thanks. I think I'm okay.
Okay, Indy is now in Flying Fortress, so it kind of gets some more war mech hype for
You know,
the 5th floor.
Got a little way to go yet.
Yeah, a little bit of way to go, but still, better to get the hype up.
I'm just saying
I
they
mean-
can fill the chat with Warmech hype in that time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to win this race. All I want for Christmas is Warmech.
Yeah. So let's get some war mech hype.
Still not Disney, but I'll
Team
take
war
it.
mech. Yeah. Team war mech is best team.
I'm glad we found the artifact.
Maybe you'll get a Warmech if you wish upon a
you
star.
don't like your friends and the way they act. Understandable though. Guess it's not every day somebody
Memes will
like
never
drops in
end.
from the future unannounced.
So Ricky is now approaching Gogmagog 2. Works essentially the exact same way as Gogmagog 1, except that he's now put up a, I think causality barrier it's called.
Yes.
And that will prevent most damage until he's staggered. Thankfully, now we have access to Paradigm, so now staggering is much less bothersome than it was in Gogmagog 1.
Yes, you can see how fast staggering or chaining goes when you are in dual casting, which is double Ravager.
Also, I'm on Tiamat now, so get ready for split.
Yep.
No
No
war mech.
Warmech, but we have got a Tiamat.
Yes.
Also, in the previous menu, Ricky only leveled up Noel's Ravager to up to level 4, even though he had CP to push it further. That was because at level 5, Noel learns First Strike.
Yeah,
and
sorry
you
to cut you
really-
off for that as a split for Team Mog.
Yeah.
And you really don't want that to happen.
No, because it is way slower when he does that.
Yes. If he has First Strike, he will alternate between Blizzard and First Strike and jump into the air to use the First Strike. And after the fight, Ricky levels up the characters a little bit more with the CP from the Gogmagog fight. And now the First Strike doesn't matter anymore.
The reason why Noel resort to using Frost Strikes, even though it is incredibly slow and leaves him incredibly vulnerable, is because of conditional modifiers. They're essentially certain rules to chaining spells and attacks that will give you some bonuses to your chain if you meet them. For instance, there's a conditional modifier for hitting alternating spells. So if you hit Blizzard, 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 you're going to generate less chain than if you were to go for Blizzard, Frost Strike, Blizzard, Frost Strike. It's the same reason why Sarah went for Fire, Thunder, Fire. So that is to some extent why we don't want him to have Frost Strike, because while it would be more chaining per spell, it is overall slower and leaves him really vulnerable.
So we're just heading into the final dungeon here. For those of you who missed it the first time, the actual kind of story bit here is when we head up to the Crystal here. Again, like the Historia Crux is happening to me. Is it Historia Crux?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
happening
just the main hub.
on the other stream, whereas we just only get to time travel once and only 200 years, and it's really quite disappointing. But
It's only like 5 years. No, 2 years.
okay,
200 years.
All right, we're doing better then. We're doing
Yeah.
200 years. Do you have to fight all your enemies again every time you go back? Like, if you go back in time, do you have to fight enemies you've already killed? Because we have to do that.
In 13.2?
Yeah.
You can.
No.
You can reset areas
Yeah.
and somehow make it like nothing ever happened, and then you get to have all the fun over again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, White Dragons on IndiSR.
White dragons to start off with.
Oh, and that's Ice Storm. As you can see, does a lot of damage.
Again, please
Unfortunately, Indy gets
excuse
away.
runner reactions here in chat.
Yeah.
We like to give you the best impression of what it actually feels like to speedrun games. That sound is what it feels like.
Yes.
Yeah. First a deep shout of agony, and then just dropping everything.
Just dropping. Just dropping.
Yeah.
Frick me.
In the
Green
meantime,
dragons, also unrunnable, also AoEing.
Ricky's
Indy
currently
opting to
fighting
try and
Paradox
run.
Alpha. And the Paradox Alpha fight, you just spam her in. There's no need for chaining here because a couple of seconds ago there was a quick time event. There are actually 2 quick time events, well 3 technically if you count the ending one in this fight. The first one will give you buffs if you do it correctly, so obviously you want to do it correctly. The second one will instantly stagger, which is why we aren't bothering with chain. And then the third one is just there for extra fluff. It finishes the fight. Fairly straightforward. It's just you literally just ruin the day.
For some reason there's a lot of damage numbers on the screen, but it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. He's dead no matter. Even if you fail the quick time event, he's still dead.
They're just there to make you believe that the authorities are actually doing something to help you.
I think I got a magician's mark.
Yes, you did.
Nice.
Indeed. That is a rare drop and pretty useful.
Yeah, it helps a lot in the money situation. It's especially useful with the no Phoenix down drops from the Nectons.
Meanwhile, Indy's getting destroyed by encounters.
Right this way, please.
A lot of unrunnables here.
Yeah, I was. Am I right in saying you haven't had anything that's runnable so far?
Apart from the White Dragons, but
Does that count?
no, not really.
I would like to congratulate Ricky on doing the incredibly difficult Alista skip.
Why did you also stop the giant?
Nice.
Because we can't let Atlas.
Yes,
shut
the
us
frame
down.
perfect
We need to search the
skip.
ruins. There might be other gates we can use.
Like the gate to Valhalla?
There are certain life triggers that can be just skipped just like a cutscene, and Alyssa's one of them. So you don't want to talk to her.
She's not really interesting.
Now we get the monster crystal tutorial. So this is a small tutorial fight that explains you that you can you have the power to tame monsters and have them fight on your side. So once an enemy fight, these drops are guaranteed in this fight only. And you can see once the enemy dies, they turn into a white crystal. That is an indicator that you have obtained the monster crystal and they join you as an ally. They even zoom in into the crystal. Both of those monsters that we obtain in that fight are pretty useless. So, but monster monster allies in general are useful, so we want to obtain one of them.
More white dragons.
You know, I was mentioning that this was the white dragon floor earlier. Yep, we just had 2 hits.
Yep.
Luckily managed to escape from both.
Something that doesn't belong in this
Cannot emphasize enough that those guys love to destroy.
That's just this game. This game loves to destroy souls.
Just let it go, Indy. Just let it go.
Yeah, quick announcement. Gotta be no. Okay, we're turning this from an any % run into an all bestiary any % run.
Isn't every SF1 run an all bestiary run?
Oh god. If I get fire elemental
boy.
run, no.
So Ricky found Nectons, and Nectons are things that are monsters that you actually want to tame, and Ricky got very lucky and got the first try Necton. So,
Yikes.
Team Choco wins.
With all those earth elementals, yes.
To compare, I ran this game for Questing for Glory a couple of weeks ago, and it took me 32 Nectons before I got the drop. So getting it first try is really nice. But now he got an aggressive encounter.
Oh no.
In a
Okay,
row.
sorry, can I just interrupt? I don't think we mentioned this earlier because it went beautifully. Lich has this one spell that we've been abusing through the whole game.
Yeah.
Which is called Flare. You know, we mentioned how it's the most powerful spell in the game. Yep, about that. He decided to go first and use it this time. Luckily, we managed to get off enough attacks to finish him, but it means we are down a black mage.
And as
Have
you
to
know,
stop and revive him and heal up. Which just, you know, is a bit of time lost we didn't need.
and just mean he didn't get any XP from the fight, so his HP didn't go up.
Not that that's really a problem. Look at him.
Yeah,
now.
you-
His HP is looking
He's
kind of decent, yeah.
Well, you don't get any XP from those boss fights anyway.
Ah,
You get like 1 or XP or so.
yeah, good point.
So-
The HP's looking okay right now, so.
So what happened to Ricky there was he got an aggressive encounter in a very bad place. There was basically no way he could have avoided it. So he got caught by it, but he retried to fight, and then he exited the game, or not the game, but exited to History Crux, and then came back. And that is a trick that we call cruxing out. And so you go to Historia Crux and then immediately come back, and
It will basically
enemies are
despawn the
gone.
enemies.
Yeah, the enemies are gone. It costs some time, but it's faster than trying to fight the encounter, and there was basically no way that he would have been able to avoid the encounter.
Basically, if you run into an aggressive that takes longer than 25 seconds to beat, then it's just usually just better to crux out.
Well, on PC that is.
Yeah,
On console it's
like 35.
something like that. It depends on the area.
Indy just making his way through the water level maze. I say maze. At this point, we really know where we're going. But yeah, got
Yeah.
quite a good.
You might
quite
say
good
we know the
water
way.
floor there.
Sounds like we did something.
We do know the way. The only question is how far we'll go.
We don't have much time, so we've got to get it all out now.
Alright, Tiamat 2 is coming up next, and then after that is Chaos, so can we
Yeah.
get ready? It's only
Coming up, can we?
like 4 minutes or so, but still.
Hopefully, assuming Chaos doesn't decide to display why we all hate him.
Yeah.
He was really quite nice to Crrool.
Yeah.
He,
First time in forever.
he better behave.
The main dangers with Chaos is if he decides to punch your black mage in the face, or punch. If you've got a weak ninja, punch them in the face. Basically, if he punches anyone in the face, he can just really.
With a crit, yeah.
Yeah. His physical attacks can critical, which then obviously does twice as much damage, which we really can't take at our level.
So Ricky just did a little shop right there. He got rid of his Phoenix Dance for money and bought some extra greens that we're going to need later to mount chocobos to travel faster and avoid encounters, because riding on chocobos does not increment the step counter, therefore you cannot spawn any encounters while you're on a chocobo. As well as some potent droplets, which are materials used for leveling up monsters, because your monster party members don't level up through conventional means. They are essentially just fed these materials and will then level up. And we get next turn to the end of the stage, the end of the first stage, so that we can get an ATB increase on him so he can attack more often.
Yeah, most of the money that we get throughout the run will go to feeding our monsters. Then we fight Atlas.
He's very big.
Yeah.
Speaking of big, Indy's about to start the Chaos fight.
Yeah, Chaos is also quite big.
Yeah. I mean, he is. Yeah, he's pretty big.
He's Chaos. He's kind of, the big bad of Final Fantasy. And let's see what he can do.
Atlas is really not a fan of hot or cold because he's weak to fire and ice.
So start going with the single giant's tonic, because again, he's got really tanky black mage HP. Why does everyone get that except me?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned earlier, my lowest black mage I've ever had was about 152, which you can get wrecked by anything.
Yeah. I don't actually know my lowest HP.
Oh, thank you, Chaos. I love you.
Blizzaga is his
Please give me
his
a...
lowest hitting AoE.
Yeah, that's
Please give me an off-quick next round.
And then we can use the healer at the end of the turn to heal everyone up to their full health, including the Black Mage who's just had the Giant's Tonic.
Almost full health for the Black Mage.
Almost.
Not
Enough.
quite.
It's enough.
Yeah, enough. So now our hope is that he stops trolling with the animations like Tsunami.
Oh, okay.
At this point, a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't wipe us.
Yeah, so T-Mock, be ready.
I am ready.
I'm always really bad at counting damage here. You just hold X and...
Yeah, you just hold
Oh,
X.
thank you. White Mage Nuggets. Come on, go.
Do you count damage, Indy?
What? What is counting?
That'll be a no.
Counting?
That'll be a no.
Yeah, I think
Laura,
that's
thank
a no, guys.
What is counting? I'm a Final Fantasy speedrunner, please. So, get ready on time. Come on.
Yeah, that's slower. We were putting haste on all of our damage dealers. Slower takes it off, but
Time!
at this point,
Time! Go! Move! Go!
so excited.
Good job, Indy.
Yeah, good job,
GG.
Indy. Good job, Indy.
And good luck, Connery.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
So,
Good luck, guys.
That's us done on FF1.
yeah, that's us.
Over to more timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah, we're breaking free of FF1 and handing over to 13-2.
Yeah.